Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. I'm coming today with what you call spiritual power punch. It's something the Most High laid on my heart when I awakened this morning to just give short messages regarding spiritual power punch. And what it does is it calls one to search the scriptures and also search within themselves and find their spirit man and realize this thing is deeper than their flesh. Because in this day and time, it is so important that one find out who they are in the spirit. I would rather be asleep knowing who I am in my spirit than to be awakened and not have never comprehend the light in me, because I lived in my darkness, which is in my flesh. So I would rather be asleep than to be awakened, because at least I sleep. Understanding will rest within me that was given to me before the foundation of the world, and I am fully aware of it, than to be awakened in my flesh and have not comprehend the light that rests within me. Sister Deborah is coming with a power punch today, and it's going to focus on Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and chapter 2. But we're going to start with chapter 1 because we want to get to the power punch, the spiritual power punch of really what was taking place with Solomon. And I'm going to bring a power punch at the end, and it's going to knock a lot of you all off the ballpark, because you still are not in spirit and in truth. You're more so in what Solomon was truly in, and that was in the flesh. Okay? Now we're going to come from Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and we're going to go on and start with chapter 1, verse 13, and I'm going to go all the way down to verse 18, and then I'm going to jump into chapter 2 and go to verse 3. And I want you to stay with me. I'm going to kind of move fast, and I'm knowing no matter how I speak fast or I move fast, if your spirit is within Yah spirit, and you in him and he in you, he's going to suffer you to catch this. And you're going to expound on it, you're going to study it, and you're going to realize, wait a minute, that's a good spiritual power punch. Listen to this. In Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 13, and we're going to go all the way down to 18. And I gave my heart, and we're talking about Solomon. He's the preacher. He is David's son that has been David's son, and David was the king over Jerusalem. And now Solomon is the king over Jerusalem. Now, this is the thing about it. Solomon therefore inherit what David had. Solomon inherit everything David had outside of the most important thing, which is part of the spiritual power punch. And if you have ever read the book of Ecclesiastes, you're going to come to some full understanding. And it's a good book to read. It's one that I love. I really love Ecclesiastes. But I want to go to chapter 1, verses 13, and we're going to go all the way down to 18, and then we're going to jump into chapter 2 and go down to 3. And it reads in verse 13, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under the heavens. This sort trivial have God given to the sons of men. You see what it says? This trivial have God given to the son of man to be exercised therewith. To be what? Exercised therewith. To who? The sons of man. Now watch this here. I have seen all the works that are under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and wax of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I commune with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to a great estate. I have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. He's speaking of his forefathers and everyone. Yet my heart has great experience of wisdom and knowledge. Okay? And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceived that this also is vexed and of spirits. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that receive knowledge increase in sorrow. So when you see people grabbing all kind of books in, this lost and this was taken, and this was taken, all of this overly studying, okay? Solomon is telling you, much of wisdom and knowledge, it holds a sorrow, because it's like never coming to the knowledge, because you study chasing after more wisdom and more knowledge. But Solomon says here in 18, for in much wisdom is much grief. Do you hear that, you guys, you men out there? And he that increase knowledge increase sorrow. So I want to now go into Ecclesiastes chapter 2, and we're going to drop down to verse 3. And this is Solomon again. He's still crying. He said, I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yea, acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold of folly, till I might see what was the good, till I might see what was the good for the sons of men, which they shall do under the heavens all the days of their life. Okay? The power punch in this is two things in here that I'm going to reveal to you all. But what Solomon did was beautiful. I don't care how he did it, the way he routed. It was beautiful, because he could not be no more than what the Most High had given him. He could not have as much more than what the Most High had suffered him to have. So everything he had was what Yah had given him for this journey. Okay? For this position. In him was given something that he searched and he took advantage of. And that was knowing wisdom and knowledge. Okay? Solomon took advantage of that, you guys. Full advantage of it. But what Solomon didn't have, something that his dad had. And that is what Solomon stumbled over. So he went on and started accepting the things that he had as, if I have it, I have the wisdom and knowledge to know that these things were given to me to enjoy. What would be the other reason outside of taking what he has given me and enjoying it? So that's what Solomon began to do out of all his wisdom and knowledge. Did he have good wisdom? Yes. Did he have good knowledge? Yes. But when I first started on this platform, I wanted to really get people to understand, like I do in this day and time, trying to get people to understand their spirit and get their flesh under the subjection to their spirit. They're so busy trying to get women and everything else so that they can rule under the subjection to their flesh. Till they fail to understand it is an order in which the Most High has called to his body of Hamashiach. Okay, let me stick with this again, because this is just going to be a power punch, and I'm going to give this throughout the day. This power punch in this is, I'm all with Solomon and what he had gained from the Most High Yah. And what Solomon realized, that he gave me the position of my father. He gave me wisdom and knowledge and all the wealth. What more can I ask for? What Solomon was missing was something his dad had and something that was needed. But when the Most High speaks in the book about holding you blameless, is because he knew and he knows that you were one who came down with the seed. So with those that come down to the earth with the seed of the Most High Yah implanted in them, they shall be held blameless. Why, Sister Deborah? It's because they come down with the seed so that the seed can keep its path and its destiny in the will of the Father. See, Yah's seed is sealed. He has sealed those that carries the seed. So I got to hurry up because I want to make these very short. All my spiritual power punches are going to be very short. Now, what Solomon had was great wisdom and great knowledge that can really help a lot of people in today. In his great wisdom and great knowledge, the Most High let him have it to the utmost, and he felt it. He felt that the Most High had given him this type of wisdom and this type of knowledge to the highest of the highest, to the point it was more wisdom and knowledge than anybody back in Jerusalem in the days. He had more wisdom and knowledge even than David had. Solomon had more wisdom and knowledge than David. But Sister Deborah, when she started on YouTube, she kept expounding on, stop thinking that wisdom and knowledge override understanding. See, David had understanding. But Solomon had wisdom and knowledge. The difference in understanding and wisdom and knowledge is understanding outweigh wisdom and knowledge and knock it out the ballpark with the home run. See, David had that, but Solomon had not. Solomon had wisdom and knowledge to teach. He even had the position of a preacher to teach the people wisdom and knowledge. And what Solomon said that was very powerful in the first and second chapter was trying to find out for the men, the males, on your behalf. He was searching to find out how he can leave and teach you information for while you're on this earth. All the wisdom and knowledge. But can man survive with the wisdom and knowledge walking in Yahuwah? No. He can only survive with understanding. Understanding is also connected with Christ, which Christ is the same as the Hamashiach. Hamashiach is the same as the right hand. The right hand is the same as the power of Yah. Okay? So in understanding, Solomon had not. This book of Ecclesiastes identifies Solomon having much wisdom, much knowledge than everybody in Jerusalem in time past, even his father. But what good is wisdom and knowledge if understanding is not before it and after it and on every side of it? That's why Yeshua HaMashiach came, to give understanding that the people were missing to be able to walk upright, to save the people. He came with understanding 100 trillion times 100, because that's what Solomon did not have. But he had the wealth, he had the wisdom and knowledge. Oh, he had it real good. And he was teaching these men that even the wisdom was, vain and vast. He letting you know it was worthless, your wisdom, and the wisdom that he learned. It was worthless, the knowledge, and the knowledge that he learned. All of it was vain and vast of spirit. And he was 100. Because wisdom and knowledge cannot stand up without understanding. that is what he did not have. So he searched other things through the wisdom and knowledge. He searched what he had inherited, what he had gotten, and he started to take advantage of it. And in verse 3, he said, I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, to acquainting my mind, my heart with wisdom. And I laid hold of folly, till I may see what was the good for you men, which they shall do under the heavens all the days of their life. Was he a good example? When it came down to breaking down wisdom and knowledge, he was. He was excellent, said the prophetess, in breaking down wisdom and knowledge. I don't think I could. It's no way I could have done it as well as Solomon did it. Because he broke it down to the point of letting you know it is vain and vast of spirits. It's worthless. You know why? He is 100 times 100. He said that which is made crooked cannot be made straight. You know why? He's actually letting you know wisdom and knowledge is not the key. It's not it. That's what he didn't have. David had understanding. So that means David understanding came with wisdom and knowledge, but he got the ultimate, which is the understanding, which is the heart of the Most High Yah. You see what I'm saying? Solomon had not that. He didn't get that. He got everything else outside of understanding. That's why he stepped into folly. That's why he stepped into wine. That's why he stepped into enjoying what he had. Because understanding that, what he had, and all that was before him, understanding it and the knowledge he can get from it is, hey, enjoy it. It was given to me. So reason why it was given to me for me to enjoy it. So let me do that. So he taught a good, I say a lesson to you men about gaining all these books and thinking that you got it because you got that wisdom and knowledge. But Sister Deborah coming to tell you in the spiritual realm, you have nothing if you don't have the spiritual understanding of what it represents, the knowledge and the wisdom. The knowledge and the wisdom. It means nothing. So in all your getting, he said, get understanding because it's the key. That's what Solomon did not have. You go back into Matthew's 1. The power punch was Solomon was correct when he said he had more wisdom than anyone before him, even his dad. More knowledge. He did. Because he searched the things under the sun. He learned and got a lot of knowledge about the things and a lot of wisdom about it. But it's vain and vast if you don't have the understanding of it. Which meaning, what was the purpose of it before the foundation of the world? That's understanding. So, he didn't have that, but David did. So, who had what? David had it 100. Solomon had it not at all. Okay? Understanding. So when he said he had it, yes, you can break down what's under the sun in wisdom and knowledge, understanding, not understanding it, but what it consists of, but what the purpose of the Creator designed it from the beginning to the end, that's founded in understanding. Understanding why you have this wealth, understanding why you have this wisdom, understanding why you have this knowledge, understanding what wisdom is, understanding what knowledge is. See, that's what understanding is. Solomon didn't have it, but David did. So Solomon had the wisdom and knowledge in his understanding. David had the understanding from the Most High Yah in his whole walk with Yah. Okay? Now, when you go to Matthew's 1, where he named all the ones that was connected all the way up to Yeshua, those were the ones who carried the seed. They are the one that, when he said the woman's seed, that's who they are. All the one in Matthew's 1 is the seed. And I found Solomon there. I found Solomon there, and I thought, I said, wait a minute, Solomon, all that he did afterwards, and he let them turn him and afterwards. But see, Solomon is that one that he was spoken of, that I shall hold you blameless. He's going to be held blameless because he's a seed carrier. And I'm not talking about no natural seed. He's the spiritual seed that came from the heavens. Meaning he came down here as a mission. Solomon was, as the Bible calls Solomon mean peace. Okay? The gift from the Most High, bringing Solomon down, he called him peace from him. Solomon gave peace. Solomon represents peace from Yah. And when he was founded in Matthew 1, he was founded in Matthew's in the book of the generation of Yeshua HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham, on down. You'll see Solomon. Solomon was a seed carrier. See, a lot of us thinking the seed carrier is the children of the Most High. No. The seed carrier is the people that he comes to carry his ultimate, his powerful seed. And Solomon was one of them. Solomon was one of them. So in spite of what Solomon did, he's going to stand before the Most High blameless because he was sent here by the mighty hand of Yah. Okay? You see? But he did not inherit the understanding of his mission. He only came down with the wisdom and the knowledge and to carry the next generation into its seed. You see what I'm saying? Like each one of them had their time. That's why I said the book of the generation. Then you know how the seed came down. These are the seed. Yeshua HaMashiach is not the ultimate seed. They came down. That's why her heel was going to crush his heel. Because it's going to be seed against seed. Y'all it's not waiting for Yeshua to come to crush the serpent seed. He been sending his seed down, crushing the serpent head since the beginning of time. We just didn't understand it. But that's why it's important to have understanding and not go grabbing all these books, thinking you teaching people something, and grabbing all these precepts and these lines from the mouth of man and precepting them together to please your pleasure. Because Solomon already told you much studying and much books and much wisdom and much knowledge. He broke it down to you. He was saying he was doing all this for the sons of men. For you men. And you missed it. And you still missing it to today. So I, Sister Deborah, say the power punch is that Solomon was one of the seed carrier. Okay? Solomon was one of the seed carriers. Solomon did not carry the gift of understanding. But his daddy had the understanding. His daddy was also a seed. Solomon was a seed. Okay? They are the ones that's called woman seed. That's going to crush the head of the serpent seed. And their heel was being bruised. All you have to do is read what they went through. And you'll see that the plan of Yah in them was always tampered with by Satan. Trying to tamper with what? Their heel, their steps that Yah had ordered, representing their heel. Bam! Their heel crushed his plan of his head. Crushing his head, bruising his head represent. It didn't say it killed his head or he died. Bruising his head was letting him know his plan. His purpose that he think he can get down here and override the plan of the Most High. Yah, my seed gonna crush it with the heel, with the steps I have ordered for them. Their steps is ordered under the heel, and their heel gonna crush the serpent head. So Sister Deborah said, I hope you got something out of that. That's called a power punch, and I'm going to give that a spiritual power punch. I'm going to be giving that throughout the day, giving you different messages that support, and hopefully I can keep it at 10. I'm going to try. But sometimes it's so hard because, believe it or not, even in this, it's so much I can give you out of this. But even Solomon was trying to search for something for you men, and you still missed it. He even laid it out to you about wisdom and knowledge. He even laid it out to you, much study and what it does to you. He had laid it out to you, many books and what it does to you. So he had been giving you all things in the beginning. Have y'all been giving you these things? But where you at today? Woo! Shalom and shalom.